Squeak.
No, it's the third pass, so let's go to the second pass. Rock. Path. Oh. It's wrong path. No, this path. Looks like I found the outbuilding. No, no, no. Don't look. No, no. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. There wasn't much in the way of clean water there, but the sink did work. In here, a musty wooden plank propped up the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? Yes. I wasn't sure why, but I took the plank. You always pick up everything in adventure games. That's the way out. I don't want to go that way. Let's try backtracking a little bit. It's the campsite. There we go. A dry old picnic table sat lonely amongst the trees. It had carvings and marks from years of previous campers. As I tried to read some of the names and the marks, I idly thumbed the knife I'd found from my pocket. If I wanted to, I could have carved something on that table. Did I? Sure, why not? With a few crude strokes, I etched a simple design into the wood, R+H. I felt like a teenager defacing the table. I read some of the other names and notes on the table surface. Rytron, Kumr, Uncle Phil, Henry, Danielle, David, Jenny. Seemed like the table has seen a lot of use over the years. I hear the river. The plank I found was long enough to form a crude bridge, but I wasn't sure if it would hold. Yeah. What's this? Two bodies. Two young women were half dug into the hasty, shallow grave between the trees. The younger looking woman still face up, her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. They deserved better than that. Did I clean up the gravesite? I tried to cover them up a bit more, and I closed the younger woman's eyes. I fashioned her crude marker. I wasn't sure why, but I felt I had to do something. The girls weren't carrying IDs, so I couldn't determine their names. I only hoped that whoever had done this had done it quickly. I wonder now if they had a phone or something at their campsite. Maybe I could call for help. Did I cross back over to the other shore? Yes. Where am I? First, second. That way leads to the picnic table, river. By the looks of it, the fire had died out gradually. Olivia, Daphne. How do you know their names? The inside of the tent was suffocating. That makes me wonder. Let me go back and see if I can find that notebook again. Nope, that's the bathroom. That's the way out. Should be this way then. Those two girls I found by the river, were they on this list? And why is Rachel's name here? I had to get home. Let's see if we can backtrack quickly. Okay. The sign was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I guess it's time to leave. Okay. I couldn't stop thinking about those poor girls. I couldn't figure out on the map where their campsite was. The police would have to Search again in the daylight. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return here. Guess that's the game's way of saying you better get everything done. Through the dense trees, I could finally start to see some light. I must have been at the edge of the forest, though I wasn't sure where the path ahead of me led. I could almost feel the cryptic notebook in my pocket as I tried to think about what it could mean. And where were the campers who had abandoned their site? Would I meet them too? Though the path ahead of me was less dense, I still felt guarded and wary. Who knew what was ahead? I thought I found them. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Whoa. Okay. That's another dead guy. What's up, dead guy? I found the body of a security guard, just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wondered, was this his flashlight? I saw the blunt wound on the guard's head and looked again at the flashlight I was carrying. Oh god. Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. First my wallet and now this. Did I retrieve my watch? Yes. The watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyways. I wish I could remember. Why was all my stuff missing? One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. Old work clothes had been picked through, and a few photos and notes had been ripped off the door and spread around. The door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted on the front that said, "Danger, closed for repairs." And I'm assuming that door's locked too. Looks like it's another puzzle. Stairs I go. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Norman took over a general store after the factory closed. He, Rachel, and I would get lunch every now and then. Rachel liked him because he seemed more positive despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. Switch. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? The power panel still wasn't working. Should I switch it again? There we go. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. That one's photo. I knew I had to get back to Rachel to find out what happened. A power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. Seemed to be working again. It was shut tight. There's a rusty looking car slot on the side. Norman took over a general store after the factory closed. He, Rachel, and I would get lunch every noon. Blah, 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 blah. I already read this. And it repeats. Okay. Thought it might say something different. That's where it came from. That's where it could go. Our old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. Looked like some beer bottles had been used on the table recently. I wondered, was that guard using this as a break room of his own? Probably. But I think he should be drinking beer on the job. There's a door. That's a boarded up door. Let's go this way first. This was Norman's locker. The door is dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember doing that when we worked here. My head ached, and I recalled the last time Norman, Rachel, and I all had lunch together. Rachel seemed so much more at ease when we all hung out. Another panel. A utility shelf crowned with mismatched tools and items. There is a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yes. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Being useful and productive there in this plant, that was all I ever wanted. When the factory closed, everything got worse. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes. I slipped the key card in my pocket. From the musty smell, I assumed no one had used this locker for a long time. Another panel. Yes, I pushed the switch. It's not working. Sounds like the power is back on. So I just want to check out that boarded up door, and then we could go downstairs. I used the hammer. The old wooden boards came apart easily. After I removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. This was my locker there in the factory. It stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. This room was nothing more than bad memories. There was a mess of empty booze bottles. I wonder if that man in the house had something to do with this. He sure had a lot of alcohol at this place. Maybe that guard outside caught him hiding up here. I think there's a car door over here. The keycard I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the keycard? Yes. Let's find out what's in this room. It goes down. I don't want to go that way. Not yet. I want to check out the downstairs real quick. The door opened now that the power is back on. Another smudge of dirt, similar to the one I found in those sewers, was on the floor. It didn't look like the footprints were mine, but they were probably too faint to tell. That's not funny. A large pile of building materials and debris blocked the way. The factory floor never did get the repairs it needed. We closed too soon for that to happen. A rusted old regulator of some kind sat dusty and unused against the wall. Within the dust, there were deep scratches like from some kind of tool or blade. Planks, tools, and broken up parts blocked any further passage. The factory was like a tomb now. It never got repaired, and we never came back.